Joining us now is the senior U.S. Senator from Iowa, Senator Charles Grassley. He is a member of the Senate's Judiciary, Budget, and Finance Committees. And Senator, thank you again for joining us here on Newsmax TV.
Oh, thank you, and I enjoy your program very much and appreciate you wanting to interview me.
You're the ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Congressman Darrell Issa is leading a House probe into ATF's Fast and Furious operation. What do you think is the story behind the story here?
Well, we don't have a lot of answers to your questions, and I just was able to reach an agreement with the Justice Department so I can get a lot of the information, even though I'm a member of the minority in the Senate, whereas Congressman Issa is a member of the majority and has power of subpoena. I don't have that power. But by holding up nominations and making my point, I was able to get an agreement, so I should be able to get this information. But the answer to your question is, we believe it goes very high up into the Justice Department, but until we get the documents we requested, we can't say for sure who knew what, when, and why this very bad policy was put in place. And by bad policy, I mean they were warned from the grassroots of the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms Division that this wasn't going to work and bad would come from it. That prophecy materialized with the murder of Patrolman Terry and guns that were sold illegally under the auspices of Justice Department were found at the scene of the murder. And so we have some information that there were high-level meetings reviewing this policy. That doesn't tell us who was responsible for it, but it does tell us that there were a lot of high-level people in the Justice Department knew about.
Should Attorney General Eric Holder resign?
There's a suggested Melson might resign. I'm not asking for anybody's resignation at this point because I think somebody resigns and then they want you to believe that's the end of it. There's too many people involved in this for me to be satisfied with one resignation. And I can't really answer your question about Holder because still we're trying to find out about his involvement.
One hypothesis is that Fast and Furious was nothing more than a calculated attempt on the Obama administration's part to change public policy on assault weapons through bureaucracy, that this whole operation was a ruse. Does that theory have any viability?
It's got substance as far as I'm concerned. I'm not willing to draw a conclusion that that was a main purpose or even a purpose for doing it. But I think we have legitimacy to get to the bottom of it. And contrary-wise, I think you have a Washington Post editorial today that's trying to imply that our investigation of the ATF is driven by the National Rifle Association to try to prove the point that you're asking. Neither end of that can I verify at this point. But I hope we get the information so I can answer your question. And for sure, I can tell you I'm pursuing this not because of anything dealing with the National Rifle Association as implied by the Washington Post, but I'm doing it because I have great respect among whistleblowers. I've had whistleblowers come to me and tell me what the truth is. At least I believe it to be the truth, and that's why we're asking for the documents to verify the truthfulness of it. But too much from too many different whistleblowers tell me that this is just a bad policy, and they warned the Justice Department about it, and nobody in Justice listened, and Terry was murdered.
Are you confident that a major violation of public trust was committed?
Well, the answer to that is absolutely yes. By who, we're trying to find out. But by the whole agency, whoever's involved with it, and maybe by the whole Department of Justice, the answer is yes. Because listen, you know, we're a law-abiding nation. So the government comes along and says to the gun dealers, we want you to sell these guns illegally to these people so we can track them across the border and maybe arrest some drug kingpin, and then somebody gets murdered. But before somebody gets murdered, the people at the ATF said that this isn't going to work. So obviously, it's bad policy.
All right, Senator Charles Grassley, thanks so much for being here. It's always great to have you on.
Thank you very much, Kathleen.